What's happening, YouTube? I'm FrankDaTank, and I am back, baby. Good to be back. Went and got me one of these. Feels real nice. I'm not going to lie. It's good to be in the club. But today, let's get into Warzone 2.0. Let's talk what it's all about. Let's get into some pros, some cons. After just a couple of days of playing, this might change. We probably, we'll be seeing some adjustments and stuff like that. But let's dive into what we're just seeing right off the rip. Pros list is going to look a little bit different than the cons list. I'm not going to lie to you, but some pros, we quickly kind of move through these. They kind of speak for themselves. The map looks beautiful. It might be a little too big, but heck, if we go to 200 players, add another 50 people, that might fill in that gap a little bit. But besides that, it just looks very nice. Has some similar type buildings and stuff like that. I don't know. It plays smoothly. I do like it. Nice flow to it. It looks visually looks awesome. Biggest pro, honestly, proximity chat adds a whole new world to the game, and it has been a ton of fun so far. So that whole thing, I think, is a grand slam. It's perfect. I don't know. It's really cool. It's nice. Even when you're not just communicating with somebody, it's just funny to hear another team being like, oh, wait, they're outside the building. All right, let's just wait here. Gunplay definitely fits into a pro in the fact that most guns are going to be viable. You can run a lot of different stuff. You can pick up a lot of different stuff, and you're not going to be completely outgunned in fights. Whereas, old days, somebody had a loadout gun versus a ground loot gun. See you later. Thanks for playing. There's definitely some capability with the gunplay from the ground loot, so that's nice. Really, with the time to kill, that could fade into the con category a little bit. I think it's just a little too high. It could be slower, just because there's not really any outplay ability right now. It's just if you see a guy and you shoot him first, it's not like there's any kind of crazy recoil control, so you're probably going to get the kill. In general, if he has more plates than you, you're going to lose. It's as simple as that. It's just too high. It feels like at team shots, you are dead in an instant. It makes the gunplay kind of rinse and repeat. Just kind of let's slowly move around ADS. We're moving into a classic BR type game, right? They moved it into, we are going like a PUBG style BR, land, take your time, loot it up, get equipment, get looted up, get better material, move into the late phase of the game, control a circle, win a game. But the problem here is it still has elements of Warzone 1, right? It still has the elements of Warzone in it where you still have, your respawn, your gulag, buybacks that kind of clash with the classic BR style, right? The aspects that made Warzone and different than a classic BR, some of those are still sprinkled on top, so it feels like the game itself is kind of trying to be two games at once, and it feels like it's clashing against each other because they don't really blend all that well. Just because, for instance, we'll start with the gulag. The gulag itself is fun. I like the concept. It's been fun, the 2v2s and stuff like that. That's actually probably would fit right into the pro category. I was interested. I was kind of skeptical how that would work out. That plays very nice. I like it a lot. 2v2, there's good. The proximity chat works. All four, you team up sometimes, take out the jailer. Everybody comes back. Everybody has a good time. It's cool. I like it. But regaining into the classic BR format, right, into like how that game's actually playing out, it's kind of pointless. I've said this. I felt like it later in the game, maybe early game, you still have some teammates up, but like later in the game, almost like third circle and on, even before that, you don't really have anywhere to go. You don't have anything to do. And spawning back into a game where everybody's going to be kitted up and there's not really anything for you to get done. The cache is difficult, and that's another topic, but the cache there's not a lot of cache on the map, and the contracts take a little bit longer to do, too. They're very similar contracts to what we've seen in the past game, the scav, just like the jail, the safe cracker now, but they're longer, they're more spread out, so it takes longer to get the cache up, and without the contract bonus, in Warzone, if you did 2 contracts, a third contract, there was a multiplier to that. We don't have that anymore, so you're not getting that much cash as you were before to begin with, and there's not a lot of money on the map. The map's a little bit bigger, there's a little bit more spread out, there's a little less loot. So to regain, if you're coming back, say it's just you and you have 3 teammates and you gotta find 12K, you're probably not going to get it done. Yeah, there's a chance you get a safe cracker off, but it takes a while to get that done. When you start that clock, you have 5 minutes on that contract just to start, and you get bonus time each time you open a safe. So they give you plenty of time to get it done, but it takes a while. It's a long time for people to be sitting there waiting. And so, and again, respawning into late game like that, you don't have anything to go to. You don't really have much of a regame. So regaining is near impossible. The pacing of the game goes, classic BR format, you're landing, you're looting up. So as the game progresses, you start with In this case, we're only, it's armor would be a thing, but you're going to level up your armor, right? So I have 2 plates. Now I have 3 plates, progressing like that. But the guns don't progress through the game. And the loot that you're looting, you're really just kind of looting RNG and hoping a better gun pops out with more attachments. If I start with that level 2, yes, if I go get my money up, I can go buy my loadout gun. There's definitely a few different ways to get your loadout, but without a set real way to get a loadout and get to your guns a little bit quicker without getting a ton of money up to buy your guns. If you're just working off the ground loot, you're really just RNG and you're not building a weapon and progressing through that classic BR mode, right? Starting with a base gun, by end game, I've got a nice shiny gold gun all kitted up, ready to go. It's a little awkward. So in the mid game, it just kind of feels like I don't know why I'm looting anymore. There's no satisfaction to the loot process. And it doesn't help the AI, the UI, for that is awkward. There's no kind of organization there or anything like that, but so it makes it tricky trying to work through what you're looking at, what you're trying to hold. But the book bag, the backpack idea is neat, right? And allows for some versatility, but you haven't really used much. You're normally just like, hey, I'm going to carry some extra ammo, some extra plates, maybe you have an extra kill streak in there, but there isn't a ton of cash to be buying up a ton of stuff to be like, okay, this guy's going to hold all the UAVs, this guy's going to hold all the grenades or all the claymores, and this guy's going to hold all the bouncy betties so we can fortify a building. There's not enough cash to be loading up on all that stuff, so really everyone's just carrying around extra plates and extra ammo. And I haven't really even seen the necessity necessarily for a backpack. You could just run it the way you are with your, 4 or 5 slots and, carry 3 with plates and 1 with that extra ammo, and you're kind of good to go. I love the gas station thing. It's cool, right? You're able to repair the vehicle is really the biggest key to that. The gas doesn't seem to really be an issue at this point. And there's plenty of gas stations to be able to get that done too. So, and the repair process is a pretty neat feature. The vehicle, they don't feel that great at the moment. That could just be a little bit of tweaking, right? Not that big of a deal. What I want to focus on is really the heart of the game. It's different, right? And this is a big adjustment. Going from fast-paced, the majority of players are playing Rebirth or Fortune's Keep, running around like crazy, trying to get as many kills as you can, moving like this. You're used to bang, 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 bang. And now just the brakes have been hit real hard, right? It's a big change, big adjustment, so we're going to be getting used to that. But I think for starters, really being able to get a loadout into the game, probably earlier as well. By the time the loadout's dropping, I've heard now we're down to like 50 people in a quads game. That's a third of the lobby, and that's halfway point in the game. That's not that good of a look. You want more people. You want the lobby to be way healthier at that point. AI on the map was skeptical about this for sure. I don't mind it. It's really cool with the strongholds. The strongholds are a really cool aspect. I think it's something else to do in the game. The reward's obviously massive. I think there could be less AI, especially after you're done completing it. We don't need more AI dropping into the map. It's kind of limit that. It's kind of still a weird thing, but it works. It's a cool thing. I would love a little bit of differentiation between hit markers on an AI compared to an actual player. As an experienced player, it's still a little confusing. Like, there's sometimes you might be going to fight somebody, you might not know if it's a bot or an actual player. The hit markers are on the register, the same. It's just get a little confusing. And so I would imagine a beginner player, casual player might not even know what they're going up against. So it's a little awkward, especially when you get third parties in those situations. It can be a lot of fun because it's kind of chaos. You don't know who's who, what you're shooting, but at the same time, kind of want to know who you're shooting. 2 real quick ones that need to be touched on. Not being able to cancel your reload. Come on, man. We got to be able to cancel some reloads. I can't tell you how many times I'm dying because, pick the wrong time to reload, and that happens. Just be able to cancel the reload. And plates. Once you start that plate animation, you're stuck. You're just doing it, and now you can't move. One of the greatest things and the best things about Warzone, in my opinion, was the escapability in the game, right? And I'm not talking slide canceling. I'm talking the ability if you were able to, mechanically handle it, when you picked your plates, when you picked your corners, when you closed the door, when you opened it, when you pushed through and closed it to make sure you're still when you're plating, jumping through a window while you're plating to be able to move out of something. In Warzone, if you mantled that window, you broke your plate animation. If you jumped nicely through the window, you kept the animation going. All these things added to the quality of life. You can't move. You're walking very slow. Definitely a mechanic we've seen in other BRs and other classic BRs as well. But you can't open a door. You can't jump through a window. You're just stuck. It was fun. That was enjoyable, right? Like I'm starting to plate. Oh shit, he's right behind me. Am I gonna be able to sneak through this door in time? Let me close it in his face. Or let me hop through this window and maybe he'll lose me. But he doesn't know what window I went through. I heard the glass break. He picks this. I'm jumping back out the window. those type of aspects kept you alive longer, added to the fun of it, added some skill gap of like, okay, I'm able to, we don't need the fast-paced slide canceling, whatever. But just the movement, just the base movement of being able to do some stuff while you're plating added to the fun of the game. Now it's basically like, oh, if I do this, I'm probably dead. So creating space, diving or sliding out of the way, the recovery time in those, they're closing the gap by the time you finish that animation. By the time I slide, yes, I create space. By the time I finish the slide, I've already lost the space again. By the time I dive, yes, I've created space. But by the time I regain and get my footing back, they've already closed that gap again. I mean, one of the best things in COD is turning around a fight, right? It's tough. We'll keep seeing how this goes. Obviously, I do think there has to be some minor changes. Will go a long way. Organization in your inventory there, some touch-ups on the buy station, a slight decrease in how high the TTK is. Just simple, very simple things there could go a long way. There's some other stuff that kind of worries me a little bit that I don't know where we'll go with that. But I think a few of these change-ups and just a slight tweak here and there, just a couple of things, nothing major at all, could go a long way into bettering the overall quality of the game and how it's playing and that pacing aspect of it. I don't think it needs to be major changes. I think just a few will go a long way. So we'll see. It's very early, only day 2. We'll be getting after it and seeing what's happening, see what's coming. Excited about a new game. And we'll have more videos like this. We'll dive more into it. Let me know what you think. Leave some comments. Tell me your opinion, what you're thinking, how you're feeling, how you're enjoying the game. Let me know. Fire away. Pop them in the comments. Make sure to hit the like. Make sure to subscribe. And make sure to keep those notifications on for each and every time we post a video here. I appreciate it, guys. Until next time. Bye.